Kingdom of Ice. The penguin, keeper of the frozen seas. In the vast wilderness of the southern hemisphere, from the icy plains of Antarctica to the sunlit shores of Africa and South America, lives one of the most beloved and remarkable groups of birds on Earth, the penguins. With their tuxedo-like plumage, comical waddle, and fascinating social lives, penguins have become icons of the natural world. Yet behind their charming image lies a story of incredible resilience, unique adaptations, and surprising diversity. There are 18 recognized species of penguins, each perfectly adapted to its environment. While many people picture penguins only on ice, the truth is more diverse. Yes, the emperor penguin and Adelie penguin live on the frozen coasts of Antarctica, enduring extreme cold. But penguins are not limited to icy realms. The Galapagos penguin survives near the equator, the African penguin inhabits the warm beaches of southern Africa, and others live along the coasts of Australia, New Zealand, and South America. From frozen deserts to tropical islands, penguins demonstrate an extraordinary range of survival strategies. During the Antarctic winter, males and females march inland, sometimes traveling more than 100 kilometers across the ice to their nesting grounds. After the female lays a single egg, she returns to the sea to feed, leaving the male to incubate the egg. For 2 months, through blizzards and darkness, the male balances the egg on his feet, covering it with a special fold of skin. He neither eats nor rests properly, losing nearly half his body weight. Only when the female returns, full of food for the newly hatched chick, is he relieved of his duty. This remarkable cycle of endurance ensures the survival of their young in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Other species have their own fascinating behaviors. The Adelie penguin, smaller but no less determined, builds nests out of pebbles. These pebbles are so valuable that they are often stolen from neighboring nests, leading to constant quarrels in the colony. The macaroni penguin, with its striking yellow crest, is among the most numerous species, forming colonies of millions. The little blue penguin, the smallest of them all, barely over 30 centimeters tall, comes ashore at night in New Zealand, where people sometimes gather to watch them waddle home in groups. Despite these differences, all penguins share one remarkable trait: they are master swimmers. While they cannot fly through the air, they fly through the water with grace and speed. Their wings have evolved into powerful flippers, allowing them to dart, twist, and dive in pursuit of prey. Penguins feed on fish, squid, and krill, depending on their species and environment. Some, like emperor penguins, can dive to astonishing depths of over 500 meters and stay submerged for more than 20 minutes, making them among the greatest divers in the bird world. Their bodies are perfectly designed for life at sea. A streamlined shape reduces drag, while dense, waterproof feathers provide both insulation and buoyancy. Beneath their skin, a thick layer of blubber helps keep them warm in frigid waters. Penguins also have the ability to regulate their blood flow, sending warmth to vital organs while conserving energy. Even their black and white coloration has a purpose, a form of camouflage known as countershading. From above, their dark backs blend with the ocean depths, while from below, Their white bellies match the bright surface, protecting them from predators like seals, sea lions, and orcas. The dedication of penguin parents is extraordinary. Both male and female often share the responsibility of feeding and protecting their young, making countless trips between sea and nest. But penguins are not just charming characters in the story of nature, they are vital indicators of ocean health. As predators of fish and krill, and prey for larger animals, penguins are an essential link in the marine food web. Their population trends provide scientists with clues about changes in fish stocks, sea ice, and ocean temperatures. When penguins struggle, it is often a sign that the marine ecosystem itself is in trouble. Penguins remind us that even in the harshest environments, life finds a way. And in protecting them, we protect the beauty and wonder of the natural world. The sea otter, playful spirit of the cold waters. Along rivers, lakes, and coastlines across the world lives one of the most playful and fascinating mammals of the animal kingdom, the otter. With sleek fur, bright eyes, and seemingly endless energy, otters capture our hearts with their charm. But beyond their playful appearance lies a story of survival, adaptation, and the vital role they play in healthy ecosystems. There are 13 recognized species of otters, spread across almost every continent except Australia and Antarctica. They belong to the weasel family, Mustelidae, and while they share many traits, each species has its own unique way of life. The sea otter, found along the Pacific coast of North America and Asia, is perhaps the most famous. Meanwhile, the giant otter of South America can grow up to 2 meters in length, making it the largest of its kind. The Asian small-clawed otter, the smallest species, lives in family groups and is known for its delicate paws, which it uses to catch crabs, shellfish, and frogs. Otters are superbly adapted for aquatic life. Their long, streamlined bodies and powerful tails make them excellent swimmers. They can close their ears and nostrils underwater, allowing them to dive and chase fish with remarkable agility. Their webbed feet act like paddles, and their thick, water-repellent fur provides insulation against cold water. In fact, the fur of a sea otter is the densest in the entire animal kingdom, with up to 1 million hairs per square inch. Sea otters, for example, often carry a favorite rock tucked under their arms. When they find clams, mussels, or sea urchins, they use this rock to crack open the hard shells while floating on their backs. Watching an otter skillfully hammering a shell against a rock is not only endearing, but also a sign of remarkable intelligence. These groups, sometimes called rafts when seen floating together, can consist of dozens of individuals resting side by side, holding paws to keep from drifting apart. Their vocalizations, whistles, chirps, growls, and even screams help them communicate within these tight-knit communities. But otters are not just playful companions of rivers and coasts, they are keystone species. This means their presence has a disproportionately large impact on their ecosystems. Sea otters, for example, help control populations of sea urchins. Without otters, urchins can grow out of control and devour vast kelp forests, leaving behind barren underwater landscapes. With otters present, kelp forests thrive. providing food and shelter for countless marine species. In rivers, otters regulate fish populations and maintain balance in freshwater ecosystems. This tender bond between mother and pup highlights the emotional lives of otters, which many scientists believe are highly intelligent and sensitive animals. Despite their adaptability, otters face serious threats. Historically, sea otters were hunted to near extinction for their luxurious fur during the fur trade of the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, although many populations are recovering, they still face challenges from pollution, oil spills, habitat loss, and overfishing. Freshwater otters are also vulnerable to river pollution, dam construction, and the illegal wildlife trade. In many regions, otters are considered indicators of ecosystem health. If otters disappear, it often signals that the waters they inhabit are no longer clean or sustainable. Conservation efforts, however, offer hope. Legal protections, marine reserves, and dedicated rehabilitation programs are helping otter populations recover. Ecotourism, where people come to watch otters in their natural habitats, has also raised awareness and created incentives for communities to protect them. Still, continued efforts are necessary to ensure that future generations will be able to witness these remarkable animals in the wild. Otters remind us of the importance of joy and play in the natural world. They slide down muddy riverbanks, tumble in the water, and float in groups under the sun not only as survival behaviors, but also seemingly for fun. They embody the idea that life in the wild can be both challenging and joyful. So, the next time you see an otter, whether gliding through a river, cracking open a shell on its belly, or holding paws with its companions, remember that this playful creature is also a guardian of its ecosystem, a symbol of resilience, and a mirror of the delicate balance of life on Earth. Protecting otters means protecting the rivers, coasts, and oceans they call home. The walrus, giant guardian of the Arctic seas. In the frozen waters of the Arctic, a colossal figure emerges from the drifting ice. With long ivory tusks and a body built to endure the bitter cold, the walrus is one of the most iconic animals of the northern seas. In the frozen waters of the Arctic, a colossal figure emerges from the drifting ice. With long ivory tusks and a body built to endure the bitter cold, the walrus is one of the most iconic animals of the northern seas. Both males and females have them, and they serve many purposes: to haul themselves out of the water onto the ice, to break breathing holes, and to display dominance in social groups. A fully grown male walrus can weigh over a ton, while females are slightly smaller. Despite their bulk, they are surprisingly agile in the water. Using their powerful flippers, walruses can dive to depths of 80 meters in search of food, their favorite meal. Clams, mussels, and other shellfish that cover the sea floor. With sensitive whiskers called vibrissae, they sweep the seabed, detecting prey hidden in the sand. Then, with a powerful suction, they pull the meat out of the shell, leaving the empty shell behind. Life in the Arctic is harsh, but walruses are well adapted. Beneath their thick skin, a layer of blubber that can be more than 10 centimeters thick, keeping them warm in icy waters. Their skin itself is tough, unwrinkled, sometimes scarred from fights with rivals. On land, they may look clumsy, but in the sea, they move with remarkable grace. Walruses are also highly social animals. They gather in large herds, sometimes numbering in the thousands, crowding together on beaches or ice floes. Within these groups, there is a strict hierarchy, with dominant males competing for space and for mates. During the breeding season, males use their tusks, body size, and deep bell-like calls to attract females and establish their status. Calves are usually born on the ice after a long pregnancy of around 15 months. At birth, they already weigh about 50 kilograms. For their first 2 years, they rely heavily on their mothers, nursing on rich milk and learning how to swim, dive, and feed. A strong bond forms between mother and calf, and it is not unusual to see young walruses staying close to their mothers even after weaning. But life for a walrus is not without danger. Their greatest natural predator is the polar bear, which may ambush them when they rest on the ice. Killer whales are also a threat, especially to calves. However, an adult walrus, armed with tusks and sheer size, is a formidable opponent. Beyond their natural challenges, walruses face growing threats from human activity. For centuries, they were hunted for their ivory, oil, and hides. Populations declined dramatically, but with modern conservation efforts, many have recovered. Today, the greater challenge comes from climate change. As the Arctic warms, sea ice is shrinking, reducing the walruses' resting platforms and forcing them to gather on land in larger numbers. This can lead to overcrowding and dangerous stampedes, especially for calves. Walruses are not just important as individuals, but as part of the Arctic ecosystem. By feeding on clams and stirring up the sea floor, they recycle nutrients, supporting other marine life. They are also a symbol of the fragile balance of the polar environment, an animal perfectly adapted to ice and sea, but vulnerable to the rapid changes humans are bringing to the planet. Watching a walrus herd basking in the pale Arctic sun is a reminder of nature's power and resilience. Their deep calls echo across the ice, their tusks glint in the cold light, and their presence commands respect. The walrus is not just a giant of the Arctic, it is a guardian of a world of ice, a living link to a wilderness that is vanishing before our eyes. The whale, titan of the frozen oceans. Beneath the rolling waves of the ocean, where light fades into blue silence, live the largest animals to ever exist on our planet, the whales. Majestic, intelligent, and deeply mysterious, these ocean giants have captured the human imagination for centuries. From the thunderous breach of a humpback to the haunting song that echoes across thousands of miles, whales are both symbols of power and emblems of fragility in our changing seas. Whales are marine mammals, part of the order Cetacea, which also includes dolphins and porpoises. They are warm-blooded, breathe air through blowholes, and nurture their young with milk. Unlike fish, they must surface regularly to breathe, linking their lives forever to the meeting of sea and sky. There are two main groups of whales: baleen whales, such as the blue whale, humpback, and grey whale, feed by filtering enormous volumes of water through plates of baleen-fringed structures made of keratin. Toothed whales, including sperm whales, orcas, and belugas, are hunters armed with teeth, using echolocation to track their prey in the vast darkness of the deep. The most astonishing of all is the blue whale, the largest animal that has ever lived on Earth, reaching lengths of over 30 meters and weights of nearly 200 tons. It dwarfs even the biggest dinosaurs. Its heart is the size of a small car, pumping life through a body that can consume 4 tons of krill in a single day. Yet despite their size, blue whales feed on some of the smallest creatures in the ocean, tiny shrimp-like krill that swarm in countless billions beneath the surface. The humpback whale is known just for its size, but for its extraordinary behavior. These acrobats of the sea leap completely out of the water, slapping their massive fins and tails in displays of strength and communication. But perhaps their most famous gift is song. Male humpbacks produce long, complex melodies that can last 4 hours, resonating across entire ocean basins. Scientists believe these songs play a role in mating, but they may also be part of a culture patterns passed from one population to another, like music evolving across generations. Then there is the sperm whale, the largest of the toothed whales and the deepest diver of them all. These leviathans can descend over 2,000 meters beneath the waves, holding their breath for more than an hour, in search of giant squid that lurk in the black abyss. Their block-shaped heads contain the spermaceti organ, once hunted by humans for oil, but today known to play a vital role in buoyancy and echolocation. The clicks of a sperm whale are the loudest sound produced by any animal, powerful enough to travel hundreds of kilometers through the deep. Whales are not just giants of flesh and bone, they are giants of mind. Many species live in tight-knit social groups. Orcas, or killer whales, travel in pods led by matriarchs, passing down hunting techniques and vocal dialects from generation to generation. Beluga whales communicate with an astonishing variety of whistles, clicks, and chirps, earning them the nickname canaries of the sea. Mothers and calves share bonds of deep devotion. A newborn blue whale, already one of the largest babies on Earth, drinks up to 200 liters of milk every day, gaining strength for the long migrations ahead. In some species, females form protective circles around calves, shielding them from predators and dangers. This sense of community, cooperation, and even play is a reminder of how profoundly intelligent and emotional whales truly are. Whales are creatures of migration, traveling thousands of kilometers each year between feeding and breeding grounds. Grey whales undertake one of the longest migrations of any mammal, traveling up to 20,000 kilometers round trip between the icy waters of the Arctic and the warm lagoons of Mexico. Along the way, they navigate coastlines, currents, and sometimes dangerous obstacles, guided perhaps by the Earth's magnetic fields, the stars, and an ancient memory passed down through generations. These migrations shape entire ecosystems. When whales dive deep to feed and return to the surface, they release nutrients that fertilize plankton blooms, supporting fish and countless other creatures. For thousands of years, whales have held a special place in human culture. Indigenous peoples of the Arctic and Pacific have long honored whales, hunting them with respect and reverence, seeing them as both providers and sacred beings. But in the age of industrial whaling, this relationship turned destructive. In the 19th and 20th centuries, fleets of whaling ships hunted whales on a massive scale for their oil, meat, and baleen. Populations of blue whales, right whales, and others were driven to the brink of extinction. It was only in the latter half of the 20th century, After powerful images and stories of these majestic animals spread worldwide, that the global community began to turn the tide. Yet the challenges remain. Climate change is altering the seas, reducing krill populations and changing migration routes. Ship strikes claim the lives of many whales each year, as busy shipping lanes intersect with ancient migratory paths. Noise pollution from engines, sonar, and drilling disrupts their communication, masking the songs and clicks that whales depend on. And in some regions, limited whaling still continues. Despite these threats, whales endure. They breach, they sing, they dive into the darkness, carrying the memory of the ancient oceans within them. To see a whale rise from the sea, water cascading from its body in the sunlight, is to witness a living miracle, an animal that embodies both the majesty and the mystery of the natural world. Whales are not just the giants of the deep. They are guardians of the sea's balance, architects of ecosystems, and reminders of our shared responsibility to protect the oceans. Their survival depends on our choices on whether we can preserve the waters they call home. In the end, the story of whales is also the story of us. A story of connection between human and ocean, of respect for life, and of hope that these mighty giants will continue to roam the seas for generations to come. The seal, survivor of the frozen shores. Along the windswept shores and the icy edges of the world's oceans, a familiar shape hauls itself onto the sand or ice. With large dark eyes, sleek fur, and a body built for both land and sea, the seal is one of the most adaptable and widespread marine mammals on our planet. Seals belong to the pinnet family, along with sea lions and walruses. The name pinnet means fin-footed, a perfect description of their unique flippers that allow them to move into worlds. Unlike whales, seals still need to return to land or ice for rest, breeding, and raising their young. This dual lifestyle makes them fascinating creatures of transition, never fully of the land, yet not entirely of the sea. Their bodies are streamlined for swimming. A thick layer of blubber insulates them against freezing waters, while their flexible spines and powerful flippers let them twist and dart through the waves with surprising agility. Unlike whales, seals still need to return to land or ice for rest, breeding, and raising their young. This dual lifestyle makes them fascinating creatures of transition, never fully of the land, yet not entirely of the sea. Some species, like the leopard seal of Antarctica, are fearsome predators, capable of taking down penguins and even young seals. Others, like harbor seals, prefer smaller fish and live close to coastal waters. Most seals are carnivorous, feeding on a wide variety of fish, squid, and crustaceans. Their sensitive whiskers, called vibrissae, detect the slightest movement in the water, helping them locate prey even in the murky depths. Seals display a wide range of social behaviors. Some, like harbor seals, are relatively solitary, resting alone or in small groups. Others, such as elephant seals, gather in huge colonies during the breeding season, where thousands crowd together on beaches. In these colonies, drama unfolds. Male elephant seals, weighing up to 4 tons, battle each other in brutal contests for dominance, their deep roars echoing across the shore. Victorious males claim harems of females, while the defeated retreat to the edges of the colony. Some populations were driven to near extinction. While many species have since recovered under protection, others still struggle against modern dangers: fishing nets, pollution, and the relentless effects of climate change. As sea ice melts in the Arctic, species like the ringed seal lose critical breeding habitat. Noise from ships and industry disrupts their communication and feeding. The balance that has sustained seals for millennia is shifting, and their future depends on our ability to safeguard the oceans they depend on. Despite these challenges, seals continue to fascinate and inspire. Coastal communities have long lived alongside them, weaving seals into myths, folklore, and traditions. In some cultures, seals are seen as spiritual beings, shapeshifters that move between human and animal worlds. Their large, expressive eyes and playful behavior have also made them favorites in aquariums and wildlife documentaries. To watch a seal basking on a sunlit rock or plunging into the waves with effortless grace is to see a creature perfectly adapted to its world. They are hunters, nurturers, survivors, and symbols of the delicate balance between land and sea. Seals remind us that the health of the oceans is deeply connected to our own future. Protecting them means protecting the ecosystems they rely on, from the smallest fish to the drifting ice. In their eyes, we glimpse both resilience and vulnerability, a reflection of the fragile beauty of the natural world. The seal is more than just a marine mammal. It is a guardian of the coasts, a sentinel of the seas, and a living link to the wild ocean that still shapes our planet. The dugong, spirit of the seagrass oceans. In the shallow, sunlit waters of tropical seas, a shadow glides slowly across the sandy bottom. With a rounded snout, paddle-like flippers, and a tail that resembles that of a whale, the dugong is a creature unlike any other. Known as the sea cow, this gentle marine mammal spends its days grazing on seagrass meadows, shaping entire ecosystems as it feeds. Dugongs are part of the order Sirenia, which also includes manatees. Unlike dolphins or whales, they do not leap or dive deep into the ocean. Instead, they prefer calm coastal areas, lagoons, and bays where seagrass grows thick. Their bodies, streamlined and robust, can reach 3 meters in length and weigh up to 400 kilograms. Despite their bulk, dugongs move with slow, graceful strokes of their tail flukes. Unlike many marine animals, dugongs are strict herbivores. Their diet consists almost entirely of seagrass. With flexible, bristled lips, they uproot whole plants, leaving trails across the seabed. This constant grazing not only nourishes the dugong, but also helps maintain the health of seagrass meadows, preventing overgrowth and encouraging new growth. In this way, dugongs act as gardeners of the sea. In the wild, dugongs face few natural predators. Sharks, saltwater crocodiles, and killer whales may occasionally prey on them, but such events are rare. The greatest dangers come from humans. For centuries, dugongs were hunted for their meat, oil, and hide. In some regions, they were even associated with legends of mermaids, inspiring stories among sailors who glimpsed their forms at sea. Today, the threats are different, but no less severe. Coastal development destroys seagrass beds, robbing dugongs of their only food source. Boat strikes often injure or kill them, as dugongs surface slowly and are difficult to spot. Fishing nets pose another danger, entangling these gentle creatures and preventing them from surfacing to breathe. Climate change adds yet another challenge, as warming seas and storms damage fragile seagrass ecosystems. Seagrass also acts as a carbon sink, storing vast amounts of carbon dioxide and helping to combat climate change. Without dugongs, these meadows risk becoming overgrown, less productive, and less capable of sustaining life. For many coastal communities, dugongs hold cultural as well as ecological importance. Indigenous peoples of Australia and the Pacific have long revered them, incorporating dugongs into myths, traditions, and ceremonies. Conservation programs today often draw on this cultural respect, working with local communities to protect both the dugongs and their habitats. Marine sanctuaries and protected areas are critical for their survival. Places like Shark Bay in Western Australia, the Red Sea, and parts of Southeast Asia still harbour dugong populations. Here, conservationists monitor their movements, restore seagrass beds, and reduce threats from fishing and shipping. To see a dugong in the wild is to witness a vision of serenity. Moving slowly through crystal waters, pausing to graze, or surfacing for a breath, they embody a peaceful rhythm of life. Their presence is a reminder of the ancient bond between marine mammals and the sea, a lineage stretching back millions of years. But their survival is not guaranteed. Dugong numbers have declined across much of their range, and in some regions, they are already gone. Protecting them requires global cooperation, reducing pollution, safeguarding seagrass meadows, and ensuring that the oceans remain a safe home for these gentle giants. The dugong is not just a sea cow. It is a gardener of the ocean, a guardian of balance, and a symbol of how deeply connected all life is to the health of the sea. To protect the dugong is to protect the ecosystems on which we all depend. The orca, shadow of the Arctic waters. In the vast blue wilderness of the ocean, one creature stands at the very top of the food chain. Sleek, intelligent, and powerful, the orca, better known as the killer whale, is one of the most formidable predators on Earth. Different orca populations don't just have unique dialects, they also show cultural differences in hunting styles and behavior, passed down like human traditions. Orca sounds can travel for tens of kilometers underwater, allowing pods to stay connected even when spread out. With striking black and white markings and a dorsal fin that can tower to meters high, the orca is as iconic, it is mysterious. They are highly adaptable, capable of surviving in environments that range from frozen seas to temperate coasts. Orcas are the largest members of the dolphin family, and among the most widely distributed mammals in the world. From the icy waters of the Arctic and Antarctic to the warm seas of the tropics, orcas roam nearly every ocean. Orcas can live up to 70 to 90 years, with females often outliving males by decades. In some areas, they are known to play with their food, tossing fish or seals into the air before eating them. Their bodies are built for speed and endurance. With strong muscles and streamlined forms, orcas can reach speeds of over 55 kilometers per hour. They are among the most widespread mammals on Earth, found in every ocean, from the icy poles to the warm tropics. Each pod communicates with its own unique dialect of calls, like a family language passed down through generations. Some groups are specialists, hunting only fish such as salmon, while others target seals, penguins, and even large whales. Built for speed, they can reach up to 55 kilometers per hour, making them one of the fastest marine predators. Newborn calves are already 2.5 meters long and weigh nearly 180 kilograms, staying close to their mothers for years as they learn the ways of the pod. With such adaptability, cooperation, and culture, orcas stand out as one of the most remarkable creatures in the ocean. This makes them not just powerful hunters, but also versatile ones able to pursue prey for both shallow coastal waters and the deep blue of the open ocean. Perhaps most impressive is their hunting strategy. Orcas are cooperative hunters, using intelligence and teamwork to capture prey. Pods of orcas may create waves to wash seals off ice floes, herd schools of fish into tight balls, or take turns tiring out larger prey. In Patagonia, they beach themselves deliberately to snatch seals from the shore, a risky but highly effective technique passed down through generations. Orcas live in pods, tight-knit family groups, led by matriarchs. These pods may range from a few individuals to dozens, all bound by lifelong ties. In resident pods, sons and daughters remain with their mothers throughout their lives, creating multi-generational families. The wisdom of the oldest females guides the pod, especially in times of scarcity, as they remember where and when fish are most plentiful. Young calves are cared for, not only by their mothers, but often by the entire pod. Playful by nature, calves chase one another, breach, and imitate the adults. These behaviors help them develop the skills they will need to survive as hunters and members of their pod. Orcas are among the most intelligent animals in the ocean. Their brains are large and highly developed, with areas linked to communication and emotion particularly advanced. They are capable of problem solving, learning from experience, and even teaching one another. For all their power, Orcas face increasing challenges in today's oceans. Pollution, declining fish stocks, and the effects of climate change threaten many populations. In some areas, toxins accumulate in their blubber, weakening their immune systems and affecting reproduction. Noise from ships and sonar disrupts their communication, masking the calls that are essential for navigation and hunting. To see an orca in the wild is an unforgettable experience. Rising from the sea in a powerful breach, water spraying in the sunlight, the orca embodies both beauty and strength. Its presence reminds us of the complexity of ocean life, of intelligence beyond our own, and of the delicate balance that sustains the seas. But their survival depends on us. Protecting orcas means protecting the oceans they rule, from the smallest fish to the vast food webs that support life. In safeguarding them, we safeguard the future of the seas themselves. The killer whale is not merely a hunter of the deep. It is a storyteller of the ocean, a reminder of how much we still have to learn about life beneath the waves, and a call to preserve the wild blue heart of our planet. The flatfish, master of underwater camouflage. Beneath the shifting sands of the ocean floor is one of nature's most unusual fish, the flatfish. Known to us as flounders, sawless, and halibut, these creatures are perfectly adapted to life at the bottom of the sea, where camouflage and patience mean survival. Flatfish are not born flat, as larvae. They look like ordinary fish, swimming upright with an eye on each side of the head. But as they grow, one eye slowly migrates across the skull until both eyes rest on the same side. Their bodies flatten, and they begin a new life lying sideways on the seabed. This extraordinary transformation gives them a wide field of vision, while keeping their bodies hidden in the sand. Flatfish are masters of disguise. Their skin can change color and pattern to match the seabed, making them nearly invisible. They bury themselves in the sand with only their eyes exposed, waiting silently for prey. When a shrimp, worm, or small fish ventures too close, the flatfish explodes from hiding and swallows it whole. Some species, like the halibut, can grow massive, over 2 meters long, yet still rely on stealth rather than strength. These fish live in oceans worldwide, from shallow coastal waters to the deep sea. Their flattened bodies allow them to rest easily on the bottom, while conserving energy. Though they look odd, they are strong swimmers, gliding close to the sand and darting away from predators like sharks when threatened. Flatfish begin life drifting in the plankton, before undergoing their remarkable metamorphosis. This life cycle makes them fascinating to scientists, as an example of how evolution sculpts creatures for highly specialized niches. Flatfish are one of the few animals that completely change the shape of their body as they grow. Their eye migration is considered one of the most extraordinary transformations in the animal kingdom. This adaptation allows them to live almost invisible lives on the seabed, blending seamlessly into sand, mud, or even rocky bottoms. Some species can change their color patterns in seconds, becoming speckled, striped, or even rippled like the ocean floor beneath them. While many flatfish feed on worms, shrimp, and small crustaceans hidden in the sand, larger species such as halibut can hunt fish nearly half their size. They often rely on patience, waiting motionless for minutes or even hours until an unsuspecting prey comes close. Their strike is so fast that many divers describe it as watching the sand itself come alive. Flatfish live in oceans all around the world. They thrive in warm tropical shallows, as well as in cold northern seas. Halibut, for example, inhabit the icy waters of the North Pacific and North Atlantic, while species like sole are more common in temperate zones. This wide distribution makes them an important part of marine ecosystems almost everywhere. Flatfish are studied by scientists as prime examples of evolutionary adaptation. Their unique eye migration process fascinates researchers, who see it as evidence of how life can radically reshape itself to survive in specialized environments. The flatfish's story is often cited in biology as a remarkable case of natural design. Flatfish have been a valuable food source for centuries. Halibut and sole are considered delicacies in many cultures. However, heavy fishing pressure has reduced some populations dramatically, leading to strict regulations in certain regions. Sustainable fishing practices are now essential to ensure that these unique fish remain part of the oceans for generations to come. For centuries, flatfish have been an important food source. Species like sole, flounder, and halibut are prized for their delicate flesh. But overfishing and habitat loss have placed pressure on their populations. Protecting shallow sandy and seagrass habitats is essential for their survival. The beluga whale, voice of the frozen seas. In the icy waters of the Arctic, a white shape glides silently beneath the surface. Known as the canary of the sea for their wide range of vocal sounds, beluga whales are among the most unique and charismatic marine mammals on Earth. With their snowy coloration, expressive faces, and haunting calls, they are true icons of the frozen north. Belugas are medium-sized whales, growing between 3 to 5 meters long and weighing up to 1,600 kilograms. Unlike most whales, they lack a dorsal fin, an adaptation that allows them to swim easily beneath thick sheets of Arctic ice. Their bodies are stocky, with a thick layer of blubber up to 15 centimeters that insulates them against freezing temperatures. Their white skin, which develops fully as they mature, provides camouflage in icy waters. Unlike the streamlined look of many whales, belugas have a flexible neck, thanks to infused cervical vertebrae. This allows them to turn their heads in all directions, giving them a curious and expressive appearance rare among whales. Beluga whales are famous for their sounds. They produce whistles, chirps, clicks, and even bell-like tones that travel long distances through the water. Early sailors gave them the nickname sea canaries after hearing their songs resonate through the hulls of ships. These vocalizations are not only beautiful but essential, used for communication and echolocation in the often dark and murky waters of the Arctic. Despite their adaptability, they remain closely tied to the rhythms of the Arctic seasons, moving with the ice and following the migrations of fish. For centuries, indigenous peoples of the Arctic have lived alongside belugas, hunting them sustainably for food and materials. But today, beluga whales face modern challenges. Climate change is melting sea ice, altering their habitats. Industrial noise disrupts their communication and navigation, while pollution accumulates in their blubber, affecting health and reproduction. Some populations remain healthy, but others, especially those in heavily industrialized areas, are endangered. Conservation efforts now focus on protecting key habitats, regulating hunting, and reducing ocean noise. To encounter a beluga whale in the wild is unforgettable. With their curious gaze, playful movements, and haunting songs, they seem almost otherworldly. They remind us of the fragility of the Arctic and the deep connections between life and the frozen seas. The beluga is not the largest whale, nor the most powerful, but it is among the most enchanting. A symbol of adaptability and resilience, it remains a vital part of the Arctic's living tapestry. Protecting belugas means protecting not only a species, but the spirit of the North itself.